Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sky.Onjahnae if you're new here, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty and a little bit of lifestyle. I know y'all clicked on this video because y'all want to get seamless, beautifully blended highlights, so let's get right into this video. Okay, so these are all my products laid out here. Oh, I got a really good view actually. So yeah, I have my lightener, which is by Matrix. You can, I'm sure you, well, no, you probably able to buy this online on their website. I have my Olaplex. This is a bonding solution. It helps like protect the hair in any chemical process. So you can put this in your lightener, you can put in your color, and I believe you can put it in relaxer as well. I'm trying to show y'all the the label, but it's Olaplex. My foils are from Frame R, super cute. They're leopard print, which is my favorite print ever. And then yeah, you know, you have your color brush and your bowl, which is, I'm also using by Frame R. Honestly, the Frame R has a brushes hand down, and I'm using 20 volume because I like to lift slow and steady with, especially when it comes to highlights, because it is a little tedious and time consuming, especially with the weaving. So 20 gets the job done just as well as a 40 was. It just takes a little longer. And then I have my gloves and as well as my client's hair. Okay, y'all. Ooh, did y'all hear how that okay came out? It was a little, my throat's a little dry there. But anyway, yeah, I just want to take out all of the bundles and just check for length. This hair has been reused. I think this is her second install with this hair. This is Level Extensions hair. I'll leave the link and all of that information down below if you want to check them out. It's really good hair. And I usually start with the longest length. So this is just me checking to see which bundle is the longest. As you see, the one on the right is clearly longer than the one on the left. And if you can, I'll show you a visual with my hands. And I like to start with the longer bundles just because they're longer, so there's more product you have to use. It's a little more work. So I like to get the hard parts done before, so the rest can be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I also haven't brushed this hair out. That's why the ends are looking like that, but the ends are full as well. Okay, get y'all pen and paper because I'm dropping tips. So pro tip number 1, when you are using or mixing, whether it's color or lightener, always start with developer because it makes it easier to blend it together. It makes it easier to mix, and you will avoid any clumping of any products. And yeah, you will just be able to blend a lot easier and mix it a lot easier. Also, use a whisk. They have little mini whisks for specifically for this. I cannot find mine right now, so I will be using my brush. And because of that, I do want to mix it slowly because you can cause air pockets, and you can also like make the lightener or mix clumpy. Now, when it comes to lightener, I personally do not measure. Now, if there are any cosmetology students watching this right now, please just follow what your educators tell you. This is what you can do after school or outside of school. But for me, depending on what I'm doing, whether it's highlights or a balayage or I'm doing all over lightener, that'll determine the consistency I want for it. So typically I end up using more developer than I do actual lightener, just because I want more of a creamier, liquidier texture. Yeah, texture to this mix, because I am doing highlights and they are going to be in foil. And I want to make sure I'm showing you all this in real time so you can see the actual consistency and see how liquidy it is. What I like to do so that I can always get the perfect consistency every time. Sounds like another pro tip coming, so pay attention. I like to add in a powder slowly. That way I can build that consistency up, and then I won't have too much product, or because it's better to have not enough than to have too much, because then you end up wasting the product. You can always add more product, you can always buy more products, but if you have too much, it's just gonna have to go in the trash. And these products are expensive, baby, so we are not trying to waste any product. So add your powder lightener in as like in why can't I talk? Every time I do these voiceovers, my word just be like blah, 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 in my head. I know what I'm trying to say, but it never comes out the way. Yeah. Anyway, when you're adding the lightener in smaller amounts, it helps to build and blend and mix the consistency together easier, because you're not having all of this product to have to worry about. Now, with this Olaplex, I love this. I love how they make this. All you have to do is twist the cap, and squeeze the bottle, and it's actually a measuring cup at the top. So I did I think I did half half an ounce. I think that's what the bottle is, but I put that in there, and then I'm going to mix that up. And what this does, this helps keep those bonds, not necessarily keep the bonds intact, because with lightener you are breaking those disulfide bonds, but this helps from damaging that those disulfide bonds. I'm getting real technical with y'all, especially if you are not cosmetology students. You probably don't even care about what I'm saying, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because we're here to learn. So this is where the real work begins, and the real keys to having a seamless and blended highlighted color, because I'm tired of seeing y'all girls out here with lines of demarcation. If you don't know what that is, that means where you can visibly see, I said physically, where you can visibly see where the natural hair color stops and where the artificial color begins. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, y'all see girls that get their hair colored, or you see like highlights or wherever it is, and it's literally a straight line as to where they apply the lightener or color or whatever it is. We are not doing that in 2022 and beyond. We are about to have seamlessly blended color, and all our hair is going to look like it's done by a professional, because you're learning from a professional. So period, I want y'all to know all the tea. I want y'all to just have flawless hair. Now, I know I kind of like skipped past two foils, but they were not in frame. They were like off to the side, and I was like, that's just weird. I want to show y'all directly from the middle so that you can see what I'm doing. So you want to make sure you're brushing the hair out, because you don't want any clumps. And now we're going to bring you in so you can see the weaving. Now, what causes my method, this is just what I do, and it's been working. As you saw from the beginning, the hair, it just looked like natural highlights. But what I like to do is, I don't like to make my highlight weaves the same size. Now, again, if you're in cosmetology school and you're watching this, they tell you to make sure your weaves are the same size. Do what they tell you. But for me and my experience, it always looks more natural. You know, some people do have natural highlights. It looks more natural, and as it grows out, it looks, like I say, it looks natural, and they can get away with, and this is speaking with natural hair, but obviously I'm using weave. But when it comes to natural hair, when you do weaves like this, it does make it look more natural, even with bundles, honestly. So because we are doing highlights, I don't want to start at the top of the bundle. I want to start like in the middle, and with the longest bundle, I do go up higher than I do on all the other bundles, just because I want more of the color to focus there. Opposed, so when you know how you bring your hair to the front, once you bring your hair to the front, you won't see like just blank space where there aren't highlights. So I like to go pretty high up on my longest bundles. Now pay attention to how I flick the lightener. You want to make sure you're flicking at the top where you applied the color. So that line that you see, I'm trying to explain this as best I can, but you see where the very top of that line, where you can see where I added the color, what we're going to do is we're going to flick that up. We're not going to add any product. We're going to take the product that's already there, and we're going to flick our brush upward, and you'll be able to see what I mean by when I flick it up, it kind of diffused that line of demarcation. That's what's going to cause it to blend. Okay, y'all, so this is actually my shortest bundle. I went ahead and skipped the second bundle because honestly, highlights are very tedious, and you're literally doing the same thing. It's very repetitive. So the only difference is with the shorter bundle, as you'll see, is I'm going to start a little lower on the bundle. That's because my client is going to have leave outs, so we want to start lower towards the ends and flick and blend that upwards, because when her leave out lays over it, we want it to look seamless. We want it to look like it is just her natural hair highlighted and it's been grown out. So do you see how I start at a quarter length of the hair? It's not even the full length of the bundle. I'm starting at a quarter length because this, like I said, this is her shortest bundle, so it's going to go at the top, which means her leave out is going to fall over this. So we want to start at the quarter length and do our flicking motion upwards. That way when her leave out does lay over it, it does give a more seamless look. It looked like she has just little grown out highlights, and it does blend seamlessly, because y'all saw the title, seamlessly blended. And another thing that I did not mention, which I'm about to mention it now, another pro tip, so make sure you got your pen and paper. You want to apply the lightener or color, whatever it is, you want to apply it horizontally as well. That's what's going to help get that hair fully saturated, and because sometimes you may miss the bottom pieces, so swiping the brush horizontally helps open up that hair so you can get to the hair that's laying down flat at the bottom. So now that we are done with all of our bundles, I am going to just go back to that first bundle, and we're just going to check the foils. As you can see, it's lifting beautifully, and what I'm going to do is I'm just opening up, and you want to resaturate. Saturation is key when using any type of color, because if you don't, it'll come out splotchy. Y'all know how y'all know how botched color jobs look. I don't even have to explain it. But yeah, no, so this is how the hair is looking after I finished my other two bundles. Like I said, this is the first bundle, the longest bundle that we started with. And again, it is lifting beautifully. You see that nice golden brown? I'm not even going to have to tone this. And the reason why I said using 20 volume is because it's going to lift slowly. And because I know I know how to get it to a certain color and approximately how long it takes. I don't need to use a toner to tone this, because I'm using 20 volume, so it's going to lift slowly so I can watch it more. So once I do start to see it's turning the color that I'm looking for, that's when I know I can rinse it out. And you're just going to do this for all three of your bundles. You're going to go back and check and resaturate, because like I said, saturation is key to any color service. And I do want to add that just although this is 100% human hair, it still is not going to lift as natural hair will, because it doesn't have the heat from our scalp and all these other factors that our hair has that will affect the way the hair lifts. So it'll lift more yellowish, orangish, reddish when it's natural hair. I just wanted to put that out there. And I also just want you to bring you all up close so you can actually see what I mean by resaturating, because lightener does dry up the longer it sits, and that's why I added the foil so it doesn't oxidize with the air and dry up completely. But you do want to make sure you go in, check, and resaturate if needed. Okay, y'all, so all of our bundles are freshly highlighted and rinsed out. I just wanted to show you all how the hair looks once it's freshly shampooed versus once it's pretty much dry. The longest bundle, which is on the right, is pretty much dry compared to the shortest bundle, which is freshly shampooed. You can see that it's visibly darker. So when you all are doing this yourself, I don't want you to be discouraged that you rinse the hair out too soon and it's not the color you want, because hair does look darker while it's wet. As it dries, you'll start seeing more of that chocolatey golden brown color that just, by the way, looks flawless on black skin. I'm just add that. But yeah, you can clearly see the difference in the color and how much lighter it does look once it's dry versus while it's still wet. Now I'm about to show y'all the finished look, and ta-da, we are done. This looks so good, you guys. Like, it looks like it's her hair. It looks like the highlights are natural and it's seamless. You can't tell where they start or where they end because it's blended. And I promise you, if you follow these tips, your hair will always look flawless. All of your color services or any color that you're doing yourself is gonna be flawless. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Give me a like and subscribe if you're still here because you like your girl. See you in the next video.